Hi, it's Katrina! From giant lakes under the ice to rivers under legendary cities, here are 8 of the most mysterious hidden rivers and lakes. Number 8. Son Doong Cave. The Son Doong Cave in Vietnam is the world's largest cave. Translated as Mountain River Cave, it was first found by a man named Ho Khanh in 1990. The farmer was trying to find shelter from a storm when he noticed water gushing out of the limestone. He did the responsible thing and notified the British Caving Research Association. Now you know what to do if you find something amazing. Or I guess you could keep it secret, of course. It's up to you. But he kind of got lost in the jungle and forgot where it was for 18 years. He stumbled upon it later, and in 2010, the BCRA went in to explore. Son Doong Cave is so large, it has its own ecosystem inside. It is over 5 kilometers long and sometimes reaches heights of 200 meters. That's tall enough for rain clouds to form. The river inside the cave, after which it is named after, is home to very unique species and organisms. The limestone cave is believed to have formed some 2 to 5 million years ago when the underwater river found a fault and carved out the space over time. Now, thanks to the river and sunlight that comes through where the ceiling has collapsed in some places, the place is full of wildlife. Explorers and tourists visiting the cave have said spending the night there is actually quite noisy. One of the most exciting things is the discovery of previously unidentified species, such as many insects and birds, and even a new kind of monkey. There is much more of the cave to be explored, which is why many people call this mysterious place the Lost World. Number 7. Black Sea River. The Black Sea itself is located in Eurasia, between the Mediterranean and Caspian Sea. These waters were infamous for being inhospitable and difficult to navigate. Its shores were surrounded by savage tribes, and there were rumors of beasts in the water. However, one of the most intriguing secrets of this sea is that there is actually a river underneath it that flows on the seabed. This river was discovered by scientists from the University of Leeds in 2010. They used a robotic submarine to study a deep channel. It has rapids stronger than the Thames, and if it were on land, it would be the world's 6th largest river. Maybe the coolest thing is that it even creates waterfalls underwater. The notion of an underwater river wasn't foreign to scientists, but the Black Sea River turned many theories on their head. These underwater channels or rivers are hard to explore because not only are they usually very deep, but powerful and unpredictable. The water that flows in this river is actually much more salient than most of the water in the Black Sea. Since the water is denser and carries sediments and nutrients into the ocean, it is vitally important to life in the Black Sea. Upon further study, it was found that the Black Sea River not only flows at about 4 miles per hour with 22,000 cubic meters of water passing through every second, it actually flows in the opposite direction of most rivers on Earth when it comes to circling a bend. Pretty cool to have a river under the sea. And now for number 6. But first, be sure to subscribe before you leave and click the notification bell. We have lots of new videos coming up. Number 6. Antarctic Lakes. The continent of Antarctica is so inhospitable and cold that everyone thought the whole place was just frozen ice. Then a man named Jonathan Kingslake came along and changed everything. Kingslake, I know, perfect name, right? In 2010, he was observing a picture from Google Earth of the Nielsen ice shelf in Antarctica. When he did, he noticed that there were water channels that could clearly be seen from the sky, channels that would only exist if there was a lake nearby. The idea of such a drainage system in Antarctica was long thought of as impossible because of the cold temperatures, but Kingslake's discovery prompted a more rigorous search of Antarctica, and researchers found around 700 different drainage systems throughout the continent, each of them feeding a lake in one form or another. Some of the water even traveled 75 miles in order to reach its final destination. Recent inventories have identified 379 lakes in Antarctica, and we will probably find more. Now we know that Antarctica has many subglacial lakes covered by several kilometers of ice. Many of them are connected, and water flows from one lake to another. Finding these systems and lakes has changed not only how we look at Antarctica, but how we see the oceans as a whole. Number 5. The Rivers of London. Did you know that under the streets of London there were rivers and canals? In 1827, London wasn't nearly the size it was now, and instead of Pancras and Euston Road, there used to be a field where a river once ran through. Fast forward to today, and those streets are made of concrete and stone, but the river is still there, it's just underground. It's alongside many other rivers that once went through the London area. Alex Werner, head of history collections at the Museum of London, says that wherever you live, not far from your doorstep, you can probably track down a hidden river you never would have guessed would be there. This particular river, called the River Fleet, is one of many rivers that were eventually buried because of the expansion of London. And while you can go and find these rivers yourself, you would have to know where to look, and many people in London right now have no clue. You can see a little piece of it above ground as it flows under an arched bridge from Hampstead to Highgate Ponds in North London. The reason for this is that just like the city, the rivers of the area have gone through many phases, including how the people of London use them. In the past, they were used for drinking and fishing, but over the centuries, the need for space was more important than the need for water. Some of the areas around the hidden rivers became harder to maintain, so it was decided to dam them up and use the land for the growing population. Some are actually attempting to bring the rivers back to the true surface, but efforts are very slow. Most of them are now sewers surrounded by Victorian brickwork. Other rivers that can be found underneath London include the Tyburn, the Walbrook, the Westbourne, and the Effra. Number 4. Greenland Rivers. The nation of Greenland is the largest island in the world. 3/4 of its surface mass is covered in ice. However, underneath that sheet of ice and glaciers, scientists found a network of rivers frozen in time. This river network is remarkably large and actually goes through much of Greenland proper. It is located underneath the Jakobshavn-Isbrae Glacier. It's also said that these rivers actually have helped shape and maintain the glacier over time. Michael Cooper from the University of Bristol in the United Kingdom told Live Science in an interview that the channels seem to be instrumental in controlling the location and form of the ice stream of the glacier. Without these channels, the glacier might not even exist, or be in the same place. The Jakobshavn-Isbrae Glacier is actually the world's fastest glacier, moving towards the ocean at a rate of 11 miles per year. Further study proved that underneath the glacier is a massive area of canyons, as well as ravines and streams. It's another secret world on Earth. Though many of the rivers that are under the glacier aren't alive anymore, some of them are still going. Number 3. Secret Rivers of Estonia. Legends and stories about Estonia's secret rivers have been around for centuries. Animals and sometimes even people would be carried underground by the streams. Estonia is a country in northern Europe that borders the Baltic Sea and includes over 1,500 islands. With thousands of lakes, the water of Estonia is considered its most valuable natural resource. Researchers from Tallinn University say that the secret rivers are true and that there are probably hundreds of them beneath the surface of the country. How is that possible? Part of the reason is because nearly half of the mainland is covered with carbonate rock such as limestone. Over time, the land has been karsted or eroded, making it easy for water to create fissures and sinkholes. This in turn both hid and created many of the secret rivers in the area. Ones that were on the surface would fall into sinkholes and then start flowing underwater. After further study, the Estonian Book of Wilderness lists 40 secret rivers with their starting and ending point. So in case your cows disappear, you can try to find them before they get swept away. Number 2. Owey Island Lake. The fun part about this place is that it is a lake under a lake. Located in Donegal, Ireland, Owey Island is a rocky islet with no permanent residents. On the northwest tip of the island, there is a lake on the cliff tops overlooking the ocean. So how did people find out there was a lake underneath it? There is an extremely muddy sinkhole that you can climb into that will take you to a silt beach in a cave. This lake is about 50 meters underground and is fed by the Atlantic Ocean and lake above that trickles below. It is about 150 meters long and ends in a pool known as the Pool of Tranquility. It is quite a magical place. As you descend into the cavern, the walls are covered with bioluminescent organisms that will help you find your way. Then it is totally dark. If you want to check out this place in person, be sure to check out the company Unique Ascent because you don't want to get lost down there, and they have great tours apparently. Number 1. Mexican Cenotes. In the Yucatan Peninsula, there are nearly 7,000 cenotes. Cenotes are underground caverns formed when limestone caves in, revealing pools of water underneath. Their name comes from the Maya word for well, and most of them were found when people were wandering around, and then suddenly, the ground would give way and you'd find yourself falling and splashing into a pool of water. They are created by naturally acidic water filtering through and dissolving limestone. These mysterious underground pools were believed by the Maya to be entrances to the underworld and have enormous sacred significance. In many, there are still sacrificial remains, along with artifacts and stone altars and stairs. While most remain officially unexplored, you can visit and even swim in them to experience the amazing, mysterious place for yourself. Have you ever been to one? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!